I'm worried about my family. If I get COVID, I'm gonna bring it to my family. And I talk to my grandparents a lot. They're higher risk than me, so I don't wanna give them COVID. This time last year, my grandmother, who was a former teacher at the Rutherford County School System, died of COVID because someone wasn't wearing a mask. This is a very
Hey guys, we're here to act professional.
You are for volunteer. Find out how dangerous these vaccines are. These are experimental vaccines. Protect yourself.
Unfortunately, we had to censor a little bit more of that, but one of the kids casually walking by on the way to class just says "F off," and I love that. I've talked on the show about having to deal with that same sort of crowd of people back in the 40s when I was in college. Now it wasn't about vaccines; they were holding up, like pictures of aborted fetuses and things like that, and yelling at me about God. And it worked. I became an evangelical as a result of it. But yeah, the kids get it.
Please, sir, go ahead.
Thank you. This is an avoidable issue, and by not wearing masks in schools, it's irresponsible. We're killing people. This is not something that we should be doing for the education of our students. Thank you.
Man, my blood boiling is boiling like Josh Mandel right there. So that's Grady Knox, who's a junior at Central Magnet, speaking on Tuesday at a Rutherford County Board of Education meeting, where he laid out concerns students have faced since schools reopened following the start of the pandemic. And so that's good. I'm glad that a junior at high school was, talking about very difficult stuff about the struggle that his family's had with COVID. The fact that adults in the room were heckling someone who had just talked about their grandmother dying, that the woman you can see in the video is giving those like sarcastic little grins. Like think about the juxtaposition of "let our kids smile" as a slogan and "I'm gonna smile at this kid talking about his grandma dying because I think it's funny."
There's something really funny about these people who are protesting outside of schools because the masks and the vaccines are disrupting the children's lives when they are harassing children themselves as they walk into school. Like, who are you really advocating for here? Like, don't lie, don't pretend it's for the children. They don't care. They are embarrassed by you. Like there's just something a little funny about that.
Everyone knows that parents are the worst because you're getting, and it used to be you just got like Mama and Papa Bear, who were like, that's my kid.
Yeah.
And they should have football for everybody, and soccer you should be on the team. Like it used to be that. This is not that, right? Because they're not mad. This shows you where in their minds coronavirus lives. It lives in a place where wherever the word mask comes up, you sneer and laugh at the suckers.
Mm-hmm.
And it is such a it is so priority number one and reaction number one in your mind and soul and being and everything that you so quickly forget that this kid said, "My grandmother died."
Yep.
Of COVID. And you see, he does a follow-up, which I'm sure you have, but he does it, he just disappears. He just looks out. And I don't know how he got through it.
Yeah.
But maybe, what is he picturing? He's picturing his grandmother with whom he spent his entire life knowing and hanging out and learning things from and loving. She's dead. He just experienced that. Additionally, a funeral, lowering a coffin into the ground. These things happen. That's what I remember from my father's funeral. Like you just remember that. I was a mess, right? He cycled through all that in his head because he was going to do that anyway. But now in those images in his mind, looming over his shoulder is some crappy lady who thinks this is where her entertainment and fun lives because she's got a sign saying, "Let our kids smile." What about that kid? You think that kid's gonna smile anytime soon? And it's your fault.